After a pullback to end the first month of 2021, the S&P 500 started the month of February with a bang. With this move, is the S&P 500 closing in on the top? Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is February 6, 2021. In this video, we will analyze the recent price action of the S&P 500, the other major market indexes, the market sentiments, and the market internals to see what they are telling us and see what to look for if the S&P 500 is indeed closing in on the top. From this weekly chart of the S&P 500, we see the S&P 500 close near the high of the week with a new all-time closing high at 3886.83. The range for the week was 168 points and it gained 172 points or 4.65%. It remains to be above the price channel and close above the 10-week and the 40-week moving average, and the weekly trend remains to be up. On the sentiment chart, we see that the VIX came back down to almost near the 20 level, closed on Friday at 20.87, and also the put-call ratio is slightly above the 0.5. As you can see, it never got up to the 0.75 level. And the up-down volume ratio remained to be positive throughout the week, and also the daily advanced decline was positive throughout the week as well. And the New York Stock Exchange new high, new low came back up, and it closed the week with 283 more new highs than new lows. Here we see the cumulative advanced decline line surge to a new high as the S&P 500 closed at a new all-time closing high. And for the Nasdaq market, we also saw up-down volume ratio positive throughout the week, and also the advanced decline is well above this 1,000. We saw on Friday there were 1,253 more advancers than decliners. And the new high, new low surged back up to 468 more new highs than new low on Friday. The Nasdaq cumulative advanced decline line also surged to a new high along with the Nasdaq 100 closing at a new all-time closing high. Now let's go and take a look at the price action of the S&P 500 and the other market indexes and see what they are telling us. Now let's take a look at the daily chart of the S&P 500. We see the daily chart of the S&P 500 is coming up to the top of this price channel. And remember, we were watching the 3,900 on the upside. The week prior to last week, we saw this pullback and dip below the 3720. And that gave us a head fake because we're also looking for a possibility of continuation of this pullback. And one of the level of support that we are watching is the 3645. But also we were not naive that this market might not turn around and reverse back up. And the level was the 3720. And as you can see that it came back up, reclaimed the 3720 support and surge up to the 3900 level and closed at a new all-time high. And also took out this particular extension here that we're also been watching, this 141 extension at 3891, because the intraday high on Friday was 3894.56. So that took out that level, and right now we're essentially watching the possibility of coming up toward the 4,000 level. So the next level that we'll be watching will be this 3971. And maybe when it break out of this channel, we get a surge similar to back in September, last September. Then that might put in a intermediate top. Then we can see a little bit more of a substantial pullback and possibly retest the bottom of this price channel. Looking at the Nasdaq 100, you can see Nasdaq 100 made a new all-time high and also closed at a new all-time closing high at 13,603. Right now, we're essentially monitoring for it to continue to push up to this 13,800, somewhere around this 78.6 near the 13,808. Now, if it pulls back, then we essentially look for the retest of this trend line here, and also filling in this this gap from last Tuesday. And if it doesn't hold this trend line, then we essentially are looking for a more substantial pullback in the near term down toward this 12,439 area, this pivot high that was made back in September. Similarly to the S&P 500, we are looking for a possible surge up to form a intermediate top, then look for that little bit more of a substantial pullback down to retest this pivot high from September. And for the Dow Jones Industrial, we see the Dow Jones Industrial did not make a new all-time high or close at a new all-time high last week. It did hold this 29,856 support and came back up. So right now we want to see is it going to continue to move up toward the 32,000 level, or it will continue to show lagging performance and pull back to below this 30,000 level and retest this area near the 29,856. So the upside scenario is essentially see would it continue to move up toward the 32,000 area, or the downside scenario is break this channel here, this intermediate channel, and come down to retest this pivot high here. The Dow Jones Transportation also did not make a new all-time high or close at a new all-time high. It is still trying to get back into this price channel, although it did hold the 12,096 support level. So right now, we essentially continue to keep an eye on to see would it be able to come back into the channel and retag the 13,000 level and possibly move toward the new all-time high, and then get up to this 13,384 area. But if it is unable to get back into this price channel, then we will continue to monitor for a potential retest of these level here at the 12,096 and 11,718. Here looking at the Russell 2000, the Russell 2000 closed with a new all-time closing high and also put in a new all-time high last week. You can see it's quite strong. The Russell 2000 is still very strong here. It came back in a little bit on this price channel, then on Monday immediately break above it once again, and it just continued to move up and took out this swing here, the high. And right now we essentially are looking for this thing to come up toward the 2,300 level. But if it come back down, then we look for this upward trend line of this price channel for potential support somewhere around 2150 area. And if that doesn't hold, then we're essentially looking for this thing to eventually come back down toward the 1950 area. So in summary, the internal are still quite strong, especially the cumulative advanced decline line. That tells us the market still have a lot of momentum on the upside. In addition to that, the E-mini S&P 500 also left us a clue that last Friday it formed at a poor high, and we know those poor highs will need to get resolved in a matter of days. So we could see in the coming days that a new high, at least for the S&P 500, could be made. So that's why we're talking about the possibility of maybe, that will be the catalyst to give that surge up and get close to a top. Then we'll be start looking for a little bit more of a correction on the downside. But until then, the momentum, the internal, the sentiment all pointing up. Be sure to smash that thumbs up to help me share and promote this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.